Hello, and welcome on into another episode of the Whiskey Crusaders. I'm Will.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Matt.
Today we're drinking Bruichladdich and their Bere Barley release.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we got going on here?
Oh, Bruichladdich. One of my favorite distilleries. One of my favorite brand ambassadors, Erica, who works for them. We've done actually a few events with her, had her on the program a couple of times.
Yep.
We love her to death, and we love Justin over there from Remy Cointreau as well. So, full disclosure, we've done some really cool shit with them. We had an awesome dinner with Westland, which is also owned by them. Since that's their sister distillery in America, is Westland Bruichladdich, but this is Bruichladdich, probably the most versatile distillery, I would say. In
Seriously.
Scotland. But yeah, so this is the Bere Barley. This is the 2010 vintage. So we'll give you guys a little bit of history on it. But if you want to see the really long, nice, beautiful history, Erica did it on the show, so we'll link back to that. But basically, Bruichladdich started in 1881 by the Harvey brothers, William, John, and Robert, and they had two grain distilleries in mainland Scotland. They wanted to combine them so they could make blends. Yay, blends. So anyway, they're one of the only distilleries at the time that started, apparently, they think, with unpeated barley. They're not 100% sure because, the records were all destroyed in a fire in 1934, so they don't freaking know. All right, so we think that they originally were unpeated because they used a puffer coal rather than peat to dry their barley, and Alfred Bernard talked about it in his book back in the day. But we don't know. The distillery burned down in most of it was burned up in a fire in 1934, rebuilt, I think it was said. And then one of the rest of the brothers died in 36, then sold off to various other people, and then eventually, bought up by Remy Cointreau. I think that was 2001. And McEwen came in as now the head distiller there. And now the cool thing about this place is they still use the original Victorian equipment. So when it was built in 1881, this was like a state-of-the-art, amazing distillery. Well, today they use the exact same technology. There's 0 computers in this distillery on the production floor. The only place there's computers is for like clerical work in the office, which is really cool. So everything is still all manual, which is really unique. Mm-hmm. They are one of the only distilleries that uses an open 7-ton mash tun, which is really cool. They get 2 wash stills, 2 spirit stills. They also have an original Loch Lomond still, which was from when Inverleven was demolished. They got that still, and it was installed in 2011. And they also make the Botanist gin. So if you're into gin, they also make the Botanist gin, which is very cool. All right, so like I said, so this is the actual Bere Barley. Bere Barley's got to be one of the coolest products there is on the market as far as grains go. So this particular vintage of 2010 is an 8-year, 50%. Bere Barley itself is a 6-grain barley. It's the oldest strain of barley in Scotland. It's been used for centuries and centuries. You make bread, beer. It's super efficient. It grows in poor soil conditions, sort of long sunlight, because of the day how far north Scotland is. It's just a very hardy grain, but it's really hard to work with. And that's the problem. So they're going to, higher quantities of count and stuff. So, but they wanted to go back to it. So in 2006, Bruichladdich decided, hey, let's go plant some of this Bere Barley, and got with the University of the Highlands and Islands Agronomic Institute, and they started growing it. And they're so into it, they actually tell you what farms this thing. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it tells you on the island there it's focusing. All right, so it tells you what islands are what farm it's on. So in particular, this all comes from the Orkney Islands, where these 4 farms are. And these farms are the Wayland and Watersfield. Now we're going into Gaelic. Coisberstan, Northfield, and Richon Villa. Sure, whatever. Don't know if those are right. They're in Orkney, which is cool. Which is also where Highland Park is. But hey, different parts of the little islands. But it's really cool. So actually, if you go on their website, the website is amazing. You can go see all the farmers. You can see the farms on the website. It's really in depth, and they have all the farmers' names. It's quite cool. So this is the ultimate nerd distillery. That's what the place is. Like, you can get lost in their website for like an hour, no problem.
Talk about transparency.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, they are definitely like I said, they're down to the farm. Like, you can go visit the farm if you want a farm. They don't care. You can go see it, and everything is. And each edition of all their stuff is like this. It's down to the nitty gritty. It came from this farm. It came by this farmer grew it. And this is the day we did this, but this is the way we did that. So yeah, so they actually harbored this in 2009, distilled it in 10. This is completely unpeated. It's non-chill filtered, coloring free, and all ex-bourbon American casks. So let's see what we think of this awesomely transparent distillery. Like I said, one of my favorites. I just love Bruichladdich in general.
That
so
barley,
friends there.
that barley sticks out so much.
This is such a malt forward.
It
drink.
really is.
Yeah.
It's very hay forward as
Uh-huh.
well. Dried hay.
And then those ex-bourbon casks start showing in. The vanilla and the caramel tones are
It's got
really
a little
heavy.
bit of a barnyard
Uh-huh.
to it. Now, what's the AVB on this again?
It is 50%. Oh,
Bruichladdich is pretty classic about releasing pretty much everything right at 50.
It smells
50 and
high.
higher, yeah.
50 or higher, yeah.
It smells higher than 50.
Yeah, it's very malty, but it's like this lemon zest with like a
Mm-hmm.
Parmesan cheese with some pears and green apples.
There's cheese funkiness in there.
There is, and I
Yeah,
get
some,
citrus.
Uh-huh.
I get
honey.
apple. I get apple peel more than I get actual apple.
Yeah, definitely. Like a little Chardonnay, I would say, is in there. It's yeasty,
Yeah.
bready. There's not really any other Scotch I can think of that really noses quite like this. With this fresh, cracked brown bread that just left the oven, while at the same time clean and crisp and floral, like a sunny day in a meadow.
It just all depends on where you put your nose in the glass. And,
Uh-huh.
It
and
really does.
if you haven't tried that at home, do it. You'd be surprised at the different things that you get depending on where you put your nose.
Oh,
Whether it's straight down or
On the
over
top of the
or on the
glass.
side.
Clog up one nostril with the glass and sniff.
Oh,
Clog up the other nostril.
Because
and
if I
sniff.
put it just directly under my nose, I get all that barnyard.
Mhm.
But when I
Yeah.
move my nose further deep in, I get the citrus and the apple
the fruit notes start showing up.
and the
more.
fruit note. And the more I go to the back, I get that pepper
Yeah, it's got this
in the
like a
yeast
heavy
mints.
whipping cream, like just churned with some chocolate shavings and
Yeah.
almond now, with a little bit of coconut and some peaches. That is a wild nose. That smells so good.
Mhm.
Mm.
At the top of the glass, I'm getting that yeasty note,
Yeah.
that yeasty bready. All right, let's go in. Mhm.
Oh,
Right in the front. It's that grain forward, very much so.
Malt.
And that distinct barley.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I tie that to that barnyardy, the
Mhm.
dry hay, the almost like cracked corny
Mm.
scent, but it's not corn. And it's very hard to describe.
You know that bag of grains that the Whiskey Vault sent us with the barley in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you eat those barley pieces, that's what this tastes like. To me. I mean, I like to eat the raw the
very-
barley in there because I'm weird, but I think it tastes good.
It's very indicative of malt. It is very, or barley. It's very, very. It is very, very malt forward.
Yeah. It's good though.
Very toasty. It's like a toasted barley.
Mhm.
It
that-
is. It's almost got a slight smokiness about
It
mid
really does. Yeah.
the-
It's a
the
nice
finish.
fresh cracked peppercorn
hmm
with pears, peaches.
I get the peaches, and I got a lot of the apple and the apple peel on the nose. I don't get as much on the palate. It's almost it leans more towards the peaches and like nectarine
Mhm.
Yeah.
than it does with the apple. I still get the citrus.
I'm getting the cereal bar.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Part of the barley.
That just true oatiness
Mhm.
Definitely.
of a cereal
Yeah.
bar.
Got a lot of also get like honey and like a toffee. It's very effervescent and salt. That's also salty, like a
is
fresh
salty.
bread.
Mhm.
Like granola.
You know what
Yeah.
it is? It's an English like an English biscuit. You know, like with a grapefruit, lime kind of like a jam spread on it. But then there's like this hazelnut, like Nutella. You know, with some sugar cookies.
Okay.
I say it's like a
So like
a
a-
bright summer day in a field. You
It's
know,
like
and you're eating breakfast like in a commercial. That's what it feels like, and there's like wispy clouds and all that stuff. And but then towards the end of the commercial, the dust is it's getting a little smokier, and the dusk is coming in. And it's got like some roasted pecans and nectarines. This is a freaking delicious, delicious whiskey.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on in the glass, and the finish is still going for me off the last
absolutely.
taste that I had. And to find a Scotch that is put out naturally at 100,
Mm-hmm.
they're usually more towards the 80,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 85. 90
If you're
at the
lucky.
highest, if you're lucky, 85.
Right.
And so to find a good one that is at 100, yeah,
And consistently put out all their products at 100.
consistent. I mean, the range of products that comes from this distillery is outstanding, from peated to unpeated. You know, and this is just an exceptional whiskey. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, they've put out, I think, 200 different expressions. It's
between the Octomore line and then the
Port Charlotte
and the Port Charlotte, and like they put out a lot of whiskey. So there is something for everybody from this distillery.
They're doing a lot of exploration, which is one of my favorite things about it is that they're doing a lot of exploration throughout the different lines. So Bruichladdich is all going to be unpeated. The Port Charlotte line is all going to be heavily peated. And then the Octomore line is going to be
even
ridiculously
more peated.
So they're doing exploration within each one of those categories, and not just the same explorations within each one, completely different things that they think will fit that category better. We don't have a vested interest in this company. They haven't ever given us money to say anything nice about them, but they have always put out really consistent, wonderful products. So it's hard for us to say bad things about them.
Right.
Yeah. We love their people. We love their whiskey.
Yeah.
Every bottle that I've had, I mean, you know me, I drink the unpeated stuff, but every time I've had any of their unpeated stuff, whether it be back to back, like 1 week to the next week or months apart, they're consistent.
Yeah.
They're just, with the amount that they produce and the consistency that they have, I haven't found anything negative to say about the distillery yet.
Other than you don't like peat.
Other than I don't like peat, but they do produce things that are unpeated, so I could still enjoy the distillery. I mean,
and they produce multiple different things.
It's not like you get this one thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Bruichladdich line.
Yeah.
Or how do you say it in Texas?
Bruichladdich.
The
Bruichladdich line.
Because there's some silent C's in there.
You gotta pronounce all them letters.
Why are you putting them letters in there if we're not supposed to pronounce them? Bruichladdich. I'm not even from Texas.
Oh God.
All right. So find yourself a good Bruichladdich product. You'll enjoy it, I'm sure. Until next time, that's your line.
Yeah.
Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell. And until next time,
keep on crusading for better whiskey in your glass.
Cheers. Weasley?
Get him. No, not that one.
Her?
Not that one, the other one.
The other one.
Oh, it smells so good. Okay. 3, 2.
Are you going to start?
I didn't know if you were ready. I'm still clicking and moving around and stuff.
Multitask.